Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people. How are you guys? It's the beginning of a week here. It's the second day on our Creator's calendar. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are blessed. Thank you so much for being a part of this little reading. Now, I never knew the book of Enoch was going to cause as much chaos as I have seen in some of the comments across some of my YouTube channels and other platforms. I had no idea people were anti-Enoch. But I guess, like with all things, there are people that are anti a little bit of everything. And as we go through scriptures and the Apocrypha, the theme of all of the scriptures, from the very beginning of the book all the way to the very, very end, including the Apocrypha, is all the same. There is a way forward that if people are obedient to our Creator and they obey His laws, His statutes, and His commandments, then He will choose us as His people. And He will allow us to have our Messiah, Yahushua. A lot of you guys may have never ever heard that word, Yahushua, Yeshua. The name is the beautiful name of our Creator's Son. You see, there was no J's in Hebrew. In fact, there was no name at all until the king in the 1611 actually changed it from what they had wrong previously, which they had it as Isis, I-E-S-U-S. Then the king in 1611, who was a Freemason, was also a warlock. And a lot of people fight. These are fighting words here, guys. These are just people who already got the rocks and they're picking them up, getting ready to chuck them at me. But hear me out, right? Why would we ever change the name of our Messiah to a different name? Why would we ever take the name of our Creator out over 7,000 times and put in God? You see, His name isn't God either. He is a God, the only God. But His name is Yahuwah. And you can see His name right here. You can see that beautiful name right there in Paleo Hebrew. And so when you're reading your scriptures, you would want to read them from a scriptures that has a proper translation of this. Now, if you have anything other than Paleo Hebrew, then it is incorrect with whatever the name of our Creator is. And so as we start going through the book of Enoch, guys, we are on chapter 15 today, and I'm going to get you guys completely caught up. There's no reason to start over in this series if you have not caught any of this, because I will get you to the point where we are ready to roll. But the theme is all the same. Our Creator is looking for a set of obedient people who are loyal to Him, and He will show that we will be taken in the second kingdom. We will be accepted. We will be part of the government system, the people, the citizens of the New Jerusalem. And it's going to be a beautiful world because the new world of the new kingdom is all about a people who are willing to be obedient to our Creator. And so as we blow through this book and as we're reading through it, before we get into it, let me explain to you what you guys are looking at right here and what we'll be reading out of. We will be reading out of the greatest English translation that has ever been provided mankind. And it's called Yah Scriptures. And this big blue book right here is a beauty. It's a 7-pound book, large print, 14.5 font. It is a big, big book. It's 103 books total. It has all of the regular 66 that were in the, the scriptures that are put out today. But it also has all of the Apocrypha, including the book of Enoch. And so this is available at YahScriptures.com. You can just put a .com at Yah Scriptures. And you can purchase this. This is a limited edition print. I can't tell you if we'll ever have another edition. I don't know if it'll ever be printed. Right now, we still have enough stock on this for all of you guys. So as you guys get them and stock your guys up and your families up with them, we appreciate it because this allows us to minister to our brothers and sisters in chains. Those who are in the U.S. prison system, there are thousands and thousands of people in the prison system. And we administer to a tremendous amount. My youngsters, my 3 boys, I have 2 twins, the twins, there's 2 of them, obviously. And they're 21 years old, and then Eli is the youngest. He's our baby. He's 18 years old. And they have taken over this prison ministry of writing all of these guys and gals that come writing all the time. And there is a lot of people. There's a lot of Torah-based groups. There's a lot of people that are seeking our Creator, seeking His Word, looking to read some scriptures while they have pretty much unlimited time. And what better place is there to fish for men than inside of the darkest despair of society, which is the prison system? A place where people are locked away, thrown away, tossed away, have no talking to those on the outside, most of them. And so we're able to write to them, minister to them, send them the Torah commands, answer their questions, be there for them as their families die, as their people turn their backs on them. We're just those people. And we love our brothers and sisters in chains. We have come up with an enormous amount of people that are completely using us as stones for their understanding. And we simply give them the foundational stones of the scriptures. And so thank you to everybody who is able to purchase these Yah Scriptures. And guys, you don't need to purchase them. They're absolutely free of charge. You can go to the Apple Store. You can also go to the Android Play Store. Just type in Yah Scriptures, 2 words, and the free versions are there. The same big blue book that you're reading that's right there in front of you is what is there. And this is what we're going to be reading out of today, the free Yah Scriptures Android app. And there have been hundreds of downloads on it. People are just very, very happy with it. People are very, very thrilled with it. And so let us get into the book of Enoch. Now, a couple things that you guys may not know about the book of Enoch is number one, the first, Enoch is the great grandfather of Noah. And so for those who did not know, there was only 2 generations, for where Noah he had grandpa and great grandpa. And Enoch was one who was a very Kodesh individual. He very much walked with our Creator to the point he was taken away in a physical form. Very, very Kodesh guy. And he learned a lot of stuff. And it is from these apocryphal books that we can garner a tremendous amount of information. Now, chapters 1 through 36 of the book of Enoch, it's called the Book of the Watchers. And for those who have not been with us on this reading, the Watchers are the angels, the messengers that were supposed to literally be watching mankind. They weren't to mingle with mankind. They weren't to exchange anything in the ways of creating entities. And what the Watchers did is they fell in love with the women, and they made monsters, giants. 3 generations of them, very large ones. And every generation of the giants were a little bit bigger. And let us get into the first 5 books of this. The first, chapter 1 is, Enoch has a vision regarding the day of judgment for the wicked and the blessings for the righteous. He figured out that Yahuwah will descend with all of his hosts to judge all, especially the Watchers, the fallen angels. The righteous and the humble will be rewarded. And this is where we're hoping that we fit in. Chapter 2 is Enoch reflects on the natural phenomena, the sun, the moon, the stars, the seasons, as evidence of a creator, of a divine order. A call to humanity. If creation follows the divine commands, how much more should us, those of us that have brains, those of us that have the ability to either choose good or to choose evil, how much more should we be obeying his ways? There's a contrast between the fate of the sinners and the righteous. There's peace and blessings for them, or destruction for the sinners. Chapter 6 talks about the angels and their rebellion. 200 angels led by Shimyaza and Aziel. They descend to Mount Kerman. They make a pact to take human women as wives and bear children. Chapter 7 talks about the unions resulting in great offspring, giant offsprings, the Nephilim and Eliad. The Nephilim devour everything, including the humans, causing violence and corruption. The fallen angels teach mankind forbidden knowledge, sorcery, warfare, cosmetics, astrology. Chapter 8, Aziel teaches weapons and ornaments. Simyaza teaches enchantments and root cutting. Others teach the astrology and celestial signs. Humanity becomes corrupted through this knowledge. Chapter 9 talks about the 4 righteous angels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel. They report the watchers' deeds to Yahuwah. They cry out over the destruction caused by the watchers and the giants. Chapter 10 talks about the divine judgment. Yahuwah instructs the angels to bind Aziel in the desert until judgment, destroy the Nephilim, and Eliud in battle, cleanse the earth. Raphael heals the earth, and Michael binds the leaders of the rebellion for eternal punishment. Chapter 11 talks about the earth is being promised restoration, fertility, and blessings after the removal of evil. Peace and righteousness will flourish. Chapter 12, Enoch is summoned to a scribe and messenger. The watchers ask Enoch to intercede for them with Yahuwah. Chapter 13, Enoch delivers the fallen angel's petition. He receives a terrifying vision during his sleep. He writes their supplication, but is told it will be rejected. He rebukes the watchers for abandoning heaven and defiling themselves with the women. Chapter 14 talks about Enoch. He describes being lifted up into the heavenly realms. He enters the house of fire and crystals, full of glory and terror. He sees the great glory, Yahuwah, on a fiery throne. Yahuwah speaks judgment against the watchers, declaring that their petition will not be accepted. So with that, we will be able to get into chapter 15 of our scriptures. And so again, thank you guys very much for being a part of this reading. Thank you to everybody who's downloaded this application, everybody that has passed this on, everybody that shares this. This is how you guys can get a free scriptures into anybody's hands, right? Show them the way. Send them a link to this. Inside of this app right here, we have Torah commands right here. This is one of the greatest things of this entire app, is that all of the 158 or so commands that we can keep today are listed. They are listed right here for all of us. And so guys, this is where you can actually go to the Yah Scriptures website. And so let us begin. This is all of the books of Yah Scriptures right here. And now this is the Apocrypha. There's a little glitching, as you guys can see on this. I don't know if it shows up in the video or not, but we're working on a fix for this right here. And the glitch comes because I had right here this chapter 15. Notice right below Enoch. I had that added right there because on the large font for your phone, you actually can't see the chapter number. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody knew where we were at. So here we are. Again, with the book of Enoch, guys, we jump back and forth. So some of it is a little bit of a mystery to bring the puzzle together and to figure all of this out. So here we are. And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, "Fear not, Enoch, you righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach here and hear my voice. And go say to the watchers of the Shamaim who have sent you to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men for you. Why have you left the high, Kodesh, and eternal Shamaim, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as sons? And though you were Kodesh, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have brought forth the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also who die and perish." So there's something to understand in this, is that humans were never meant to live forever, right? We are here on this earth, and we have a time that we've been given. Our Creator gave us 120 years after the flood. And 120 years, considering today's everybody dying off really super early, 120 years seems like an eternity for all of us now. People are like, wow, you made it to 70 years old. That's really, really good. That's incredible. But yet, people used to live much, much longer. And so we have the understanding here that the messengers are supposed to be holy, they're supposed to be spiritual, and they live with eternal Kai, life. And they were never ever supposed to have become enamored with women. They were never ever supposed to have this. And this may be why people hate the book of Enoch, because they hear the truths of this and they can't handle the truth. But yet our Messiah says the truth will set you free. But yeah, there's a lot of people chucking rocks because I'm reading the book of Enoch. So I guess pick up the rocks, keep them coming. Here we are. 5. Therefore I have given them wives also, that they may impregnate them and bring forth children by them, that thus none might be lacking to them on earth. This is about the humans, right? But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal Kai, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you. For as for the spiritual ones of the Shamaim, in the Shamaim is their dwelling. And now the giants, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth. And on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men and from the Kodesh watchers in their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. Okay. This is, some of the stuff is incredible, because we know from the walk of our Messiah that he was always battling demons. Demons were always overtaking people. When you look in the day and age and the world we are into today, demons are all over the place. It is a mess. Demons have taken over mankind. They've taken over all sorts of crazy stuff. And it is one of these things that, where did they come from? Well, they came from all of the bodies of the Watchers. When they all died, their origins, right? They're evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. And truly, every time that somebody gets overtaken by an evil spirit, right? Even in scriptures and the good news, the Besorah with our Messiah, they were thrashing around, throwing people in fire, trying to kill them. And so the spirits are always looking for a home. And if they don't have a home, then they're sitting there wandering, and they're thirsty and looking for in dry places. And so this is one of the reasons that us as Yah's people always need to keep our temples clean. We need to keep our minds clean. We need to make sure that we are not susceptible to the evil spirits finding a home inside of us. We know that Mary Magdalene had 7. We know one fella had so many demons, they call them legion, because there's just a pile of demons, right? So once we are susceptible to these demons, once we are so unclean that we have a opening and these demons take us, then it seems like they are able to bring in all their friends. And then all of a sudden it just gets worse and worse and worse. 10. As for the spirits of the Shamaim, in the Shamaim shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. Lots of stuff to figure out here, right, guys? What do demons do to us? Well, it's very clear from these scriptures that they afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, battle us, work destruction on the earth, cause trouble. Now, you look at the politicians of this world. You have this, the orange-faced guy, right? Everybody loves this guy as he's chanting satanic terms like mega, right? People don't realize that you don't get elected, you get selected. And after the first term of the father of the you-know-what, now we have this guy that's just doing more stuff. And there are these die-hard people with their little red hats on, and that's their leader, that's the man. And, I'll take Messiah Yahushua. That's the real man. I will take Yahuwah. I will take anyone other than the forces of darkness that are down here to corrupt and to take us. Now, I believe without a shadow of a doubt that all of these so-called politicians have these demons in them, which is why they are willing to do what they are willing to do and to call some stuff out, but yet destroy and maim and own other stuff. Let's continue on. 16. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the beings of whose flesh the spirits, having gone forth, shall destroy without incurring judgment. Thus they shall destroy until the day of the complete end, the great judgment, in which the age shall be ended, over the watchers and the wicked, even so shall be completely ended. All right, so guys, the demons have carte blanche. They have infinite abilities to take us to school. It is a straight up schooling that they can go and do whatever they want to do, and nothing's going to happen to them, right? Nothing's going to happen to them at all. They can destroy until the day of the complete end. So we're never going to be free of the demons. We're never ever going to have a day or a week or a month that we're not afflicted and things that are trying to take us and our families, the minds of our children, the minds of us, right? There's so many demonic forces in this world right now. It is a dark, dark world. You know, they said as in the days of Noah, that's when the end days will be. I completely believe that we are here. DNA is completely corrupted. All of the double helix is like a triple helix now. Everything that our Creator has built in perfection, people have tried to corrupt it and tried to basically kill us off. So we're getting towards the end, which is why there's never a time to put away the Torah. There's never a time to not be invested in the Torah. There's never a time that we should not be seeking our Creator where He's able to be found. And He's able to be found in the first 5 books of Scriptures: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. He's able to be found throughout Scriptures with the prophets, with our Messiah, right? Our Messiah says He did not come to destroy the Torah or the prophets, but to build them up and to be a completion of all things. And that doesn't mean that it's done. That doesn't mean that there's no more Torah. It means that the prophets were right when they all said that the Son of the Most High was going to come. He's going to come. Now, there's a lot of people out there that, Boss Clan gets a lot of rocks chucked at us. From our emails to comments to, it's doing what we are doing, restoring these scriptures. There's a lot of people that are real angry. And, the Trinity is one of these things that people just can't get a grasp out of. It's like they were born with this and this is all they know. And it's a very dangerous thing. And so as we realign our lives with what scriptures say, nowhere in scriptures does it ever say that the Father and the Son are the same individuals. In fact, as you read through scriptures, it's very, very clear the Son is talking to the Father. If not, the Son might be a little bit off, if you know what I mean. Because he's always sitting there, not my will, but your will. He's just like, I come in my name of my Father, I come in this. People are like, he's the Father. He's the Father. As they just chuck tons and tons of rocks at us. And so, guys, let's get aligned with scriptures. 2. And now, as to the watchers who have sent you to intercede for them, who had been previously in the Shamayim, say to them, you have been in the Shamayim, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you. And you knew worthless matters, and these, in the hardness of your hearts, you have made known to the women. And through these mysteries, women and men work much evil on earth. Say to them, therefore, you have no peace. Huge stuff, right? It's very bad stuff, right? You have no peace. That comes from the creator of the universe. What we're always looking for is we're looking for shalom. We're looking for shalom, the greatest peace. And when you have no peace, then it's not a great thing. And, out of all the things that these watchers, as we've been reading these books, they taught us, the watchers taught mankind sorcery and the adornment of jewelry and all the makeup and taught them all this stuff, right? And according to the greatness of what our Creator knows, it's worthless. All this stuff is useless, right? But yet the little bit corrupted us completely. Imagine had the watchers really known what our Creator was talking about here, about the non-worthless matters. What about all this other stuff that they could have known? We would have really been corrupted. So at some level, we got thrown to the wolves with the watchers. At some level, we got annihilated. But at the same time, we were still protected enough that probably the great stuff, and you look at places like CERN, and CERN is the heartland of the devil. When you look at what CERN is doing, smashing their Hadron Collider, their atoms together, and opening portals, as they say, and things come through these portals. CERN is absolutely a satanic Luciferian setup. It is something, yeah, it may be in the name of science, but this science is all Luciferian. These people are trying to open the portals of Revelation 9:11. They're trying to open up the gates and have Apollyon come back through, right? And so when you look at who is the Antichrist, or who is truly the, it may not be the human form of him, but who is the spirit of the Antichrist, well, it's Apollyon. And it all goes back to the days of Nimrod. Apollyon is just another name for Nimrod. When the 70 different languages were split up amongst the world, you had one guy named Nimrod, and he had ended up with 70 different names. That's why you have all of these guys, and Osiris, and just this all, it all goes back to the same guy. And so let's continue on. 17. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire, and when they wanted, they appeared as men. And they brought me to the place of darkness, and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to the Shamayim. And I saw the places of the lights, and the treasuries of the stars, and of the thunder, and in the uttermost depths, where there were a fiery bow and arrows in their quiver, and a fiery sword and all their lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every going down of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, in which the fire flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea towards the west. And I saw the great rivers, and came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness and of winter, and the place where all the waters of the deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the deep, and of the deep. I think I missed that one. Let me try that 8 again. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation, and the firm foundations of the earth. Uh-oh. There it is. There's all these people that absolutely hate the book of Enoch, right? Chuck your rocks at me, because Enoch is not, it's a flat earth place, right? And the thing about the flat earth is all these flat earthers, they're doing a disservice to the actual flat earth, because they put out this what they believe the sun and the moon, and they have a giant flat earth, and then they have the sun going around in a circle, the moon following it, and that's anti-biblical when it comes to the book of Enoch. As we will get into it further, probably in a couple weeks, I would imagine, it very much tells us how the sun leaves, how it goes, right? And there's no place in scriptures that ever says we're wobbling or spinning or doing anything. It's always about firm foundations. It's always about, this is the footstool of our Creator, that it's an unmovable, unshakable. And so here we are, living in this deceptive world where NASA steals $56 million a day or more these days, and they've deceived the entire world. 2, and I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the 4 winds which bear the earth, and the firmament of the Shamayim. Okay, so this reiterates what Genesis says. And for those that hate the book of Enoch, well, it says the same stuff that the rest of Scripture says. We know from Genesis that we have a firmament, which is basically a dome over the top of us, right? Why is the sky blue? Well, because at some point they separated from the waters, so there's water somewhere, right? When the flood came and we saw that happen, we know that there was the opening of these floodgates where there was just a boat load of water. So 2 very clearly talks about the 4 winds, and there's always, the 4 winds. How do you have 4 corners on a globe, right? How is that even possible? And then we have the firmament of the Shamayim, right? This is and how do we have life, right? You have Operation Fishbowl, which was back in the days, and this is a government operation. You can look it up. They are firing nukes up, trying to blow a hole in the firmament. These idiots were literally trying to blow a hole in the firmament. Why is it called Operation Fishbowl? Why is there such a thing, right? You have all these deceivers. You have Jeff Bezos and his so-called fake satellites all over the place, right? All of these things, when it's very easy to bounce a signal off of the dome back down. You don't need these fake things that are floating around. That's why there's no pictures of satellites. That's why there's no pictures of the Earth in space. It's a real-time picture. All these 10,000 plus satellites that are all above us. I think Ellen Muskrat says there's like 10,000 Starlink satellites, but yet not a single one of these things ever has a camera. You would think there would be hundreds or thousands of these things that are sending us back some stuff in real time. But yet they say there's these rovers in Mars, and they're sending back these high-def pictures, when still, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes my cell phone doesn't even work. Sometimes the communications aren't that good, but supposedly they were talking to people on the moon. It's all a hoax, guys. We've been hoaxed, we've been had, we've been deceived, and they're stealing all of our money to support this hoax. And at the end of time, all these globetrotters are going to feel real foolish when it's very, very obvious according to scriptures. And one more thing I'd like to say is, those of you who are globetrotters, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to bash on any one of you guys that are stuck in that hoax, but the majority of the people that I have found, especially on 153news.net, they very much don't care about scriptures. Like they don't have an Elohim Most High. It's not part of their stuff, right? When you start reading scriptures, when you start understanding that what scripture says is really the truth, we're not a bunch of monkeys on a spinning water ball. 3. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of the Shamayim, and have their station between the Shamayim and earth. These are the pillars of the Shamayim. Pillars, foundations, what? I saw the winds of the Shamayim, which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their going down. Wait, what do you mean going up and down, right? I mean, according to the book of Enoch, the sun and the moon and the stars, they all come out of little gates, right? I don't know about the stars, but the sun and moon definitely come out of different gates. And the gates are all ordered up and based upon season. There's like one gate it goes out, one gate it goes in, and throughout the year it goes into different gates and goes out of different gates. So that's what makes the seasons. That's what makes the days. That's how you can tell time with the moon. This is the way that our Creator has done, right? 5, I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the paths of the messengers. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the Shamayim above. And I proceeded and saw a place which burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stone, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. And as for those towards the east, one was a colored stone, and one of pearl, and one of jacinth, and those towards the south of red stone. But the middle one reached to the Shamayim, like the throne of Elohim of alabaster. And the summit of the throne was of sapphire. And I saw a flaming fire, and beyond these mountains is a region, the end of the great earth. There the Shamayim were completed. And I saw a deep abyss, with columns of fire of the Shamayim, and among them I saw columns of fire fall, which were beyond measure, alike towards the height and towards the depth. And beyond the abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of the Shamayim above, and no firmly founded earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, no birds, but it was a waste and a horrible place. Yeah, again, we have what? The firmament, firmly founded earth. This is talking about a little spot where there's not a firmly founded earth. How can you be firmly founded if you're doing 1,000 miles an hour spinning through the vast solar system, right? This is crazy. 13, I saw their 7 stars like great burning mountains, and to me, when I inquired regarding them, the messenger said, "This place is the end of the Shamayim and earth. This has become a prison for the stars and the host of the Shamayim. And all the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of Yahuwah in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed times. And he was wroth with them and bound them till the time when their guilt should be completely ended for 10,000 years." Now, for anybody that has looked at a star, I think it's a P900. I think I said P9000 last time, and everybody picked up rocks and chucked them at me. I don't know which model of the cannon was taken out, but there was a model that was taken out that's unable to be gotten anymore. You have to go to the black markets to find them. But you can zoom in on these stars, And it is exactly what it just describes here, right? Stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of Yahuwah. You can see these things that are trying to break out of what it looks like a crystalline prism. It looks like a little box, and these things are just twinkling. Literally, the stars are twinkling. When they say twinkle, twinkle, little stars, that is absolutely what these things are doing. When you zoom in on all these so-called planets with a very good optic, they're nothing like we have been told. And a lot of people will be like, Jason, why is the moon round if we are on a flat earth? And I'm like, I don't know. Why is the sun round? What difference does that make? What the color of our night light is? And there's these people that are so hoaxed that they're like, yeah, I don't think we landed on the moon, but I think we've been able to fire trajectories up there and hit the nightlight and sit on the nightlight. And it's the funniest thing. It is, indoctrination is such an amazing thing. When we've all grown up in a classroom with a globe inside of it, it's really, really hard to come to the truth. But for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, it is a marvelous wonder of what we are and what our Creator has built for us. And so only the deceivers want us deceived completely in all of this. Now, I think we're going to end it right here, guys. I think we're going to end this right here and call this one a day. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. I'm really enjoying this book of Enoch, of Canuck. And I hope you guys are too. I hope this is something that can open your eyes a little bit, can show some, this book has been quoted a tremendous amount of times in scriptures. This isn't like just some like facade that has come from here and there. The Dead Sea Scrolls had fragments of this all over the place. This is an incredible book. It was, given for the end times people as we are pulling ourselves out of this deception that all of us have been born into. And, our Creator's opening eyes. Our Creator is calling his remnant. And there's not a lot, right? There is not a lot of people that will be saved. According to the book of Enoch, or 2nd Ezra, excuse me, it's a drop of water compared to a giant wave. And when you think about that analogy, when you think about what a drop of water versus a giant wave is, it's not going to be a lot of people. So guys, with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Until we meet again, I hope you guys are good. I'm back to my fast. I'm on day 1 right now. I had 2 days of refeeding. I did about 4 and 3/4 days. I didn't make the goal that I was going to make, but I had amazing results when I started checking my blood sugar levels, especially after eating. It's like I could eat anything and my blood sugar never ever went up. The healing properties of doing this are incredible. And so I think any one of you guys that want to fast, that you guys want a little fasting partner out there, I think believe on probably on first day. Sunday is the day that I'll probably from here on out start my fast, and I will be going as long as I can in this week's. And I think I'm just going to nonstop fast. I think it has enough healing properties, and it's just regrowing stem cells. I'm getting all this natural medicine that our Creator has given to us, and those of us who fast, it will bind your mind. It will kill off old cells, and it is very, very healthy. So for those of you guys who want to fast, I'm with you right here. We'll be fasting that throughout this week. Tuesdays, I will not be reading with you guys, but hopefully, Yah willing, I will be back on Wednesday, and we can keep going into this book of Canuck. Till then, guys, big hugs, much love. I love y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom.